everything that I connect to in Canada, I realized after a while was because of music.
What are you guys saying? It's Matt Russian, aka Ruso Loco. I'm out here with my dog, my business partner, Fresh. You know what I'm saying? None of this would be possible without him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I want to shout out Risky for the first episode. It was amazing. We're only getting love. No, yeah, we're not getting any hate, just love. So
thanks for the support.
Thanks for the support. We're out here in Scarborough in Conrad's Barbershop. You know, like we're doing it out here in Scarborough in the city limits.
Conrad's Barbershop,
right?
Original Scarborough.
I want to shout out the filmmakers that are doing this. Is the same guys from the first episode. M-Works. I want to shout out TK. You know, they've been doing this. And right now we got us like, you know, an OG and a legend. So it's gonna be a huge entry. You know what I'm saying? It's Spade from Citizen Kane. You know what I'm saying?
Legendary. You know, Citizen Kane, man. Spade. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where everything's from. Right here.
Right.
That's where Third Degree actually got our first foot in the door because of Spade. You know. So Citzen Kane. So from now, Citzen Kane, you saw documentary.
I know. I basically know hip hop through Citizen Kane. You know, it's one of the first groups because I was into bars. And for me, like, I couldn't even listen to stuff that didn't have bars in it. So, there was guys that were doing it and stuff, but you just didn't have the bars. But Citzen Kane, they had the from Toronto had the bars. And so I got into it from like school times. I remember like Black Eye, where I'm from, hear the songs, but then I was listening to like the complete album that I really liked from the dot was Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about everything, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about the music, the streets, you know, the history, because who else except you that knows it like this? You know what I'm saying? From the foundation, from the start. It's important for the younger guys. It's a young game right now, but it's important for the younger guys to know what happened and stuff like that. I feel that they'll be able to relate to that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not everything is that different. Some things are the same. You know what I'm saying? So this is gonna be an important issue for me and for the city of Toronto. Yeah. Anyways.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink to that. So I usually, you know what I'm saying? I usually like to start like like how the story starts. Like you born in the city?
I was actually I was born right across the street. So we're right across the street from the hospital I was born in. So
like on Midland, right? Where we're at right now?
No, McCown and Lawrence.
We're McCown Lawrence.
Yeah, McCown and Lawrence. So I was born right in
Scarborough
Midland,
General. The episode before.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was born in Scarborough General Hospital, right across the street. Yeah. I originally grew up at what is it called? I forget. I was originally born over by Scarborough Golf Club in Lawrence. What's that hood called again? Orton Park.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was originally born in Orton Park, and at 5 years old, I moved over to 400. Right. And 400 was in the 70s. It was probably just newly built. Orton Park's a bit older. So when it was freshly built, my mom moved all of us to Orton Park. To 400. And that's where it all.
Moved from Orton Park to 400.
Yeah. And 400 was like when I got there, like in the 70s. Like 400 was some real stuff. Like.
Yeah, let's know some of the stories of what Scarborough used to be back in the 70s.
Yeah, back.
You know, like most of the kids nowadays don't have no history.
Like, what do you mean real stuff? Like,
well, back in the days, like 400 was probably one of the most in the 70s and the 80s. 400 was probably one of the most crime-ridden neighborhoods. It was comparable to Jane and Finch. Like, it was really like the whole Eglinton Strip, really, not just 400.
Why do you think that is?
Well, it was Southside Scarborough. The Northside Scarborough wasn't developed that much yet. So everybody was congested in the Southside Scarborough, right? And 400 is right by the strip club, and there's a couple bike gangs who used to hang out there in the 70s and stuff. And I grew up I was born in 1970. So as a little kid, I saw the 70s. I mean, you guys never seen the 70s, but I saw the 70s, right? So in my neighborhood, when I grew up in 400, there was like bike gangs, there were like pimps, there was like dealers. It was
original Scarborough stories.
Yeah,
man.
it was like the Bronx. It was like just 400 right in the middle of Scarborough. 400 was like the Bronx, right? And we called it the drive-through because you were able to drive through. So people used to drive through, pick up prostitutes and stuff. So as a kid, I used to see a lot of like pimps.
Was there motels along the strip? Because I know Galway has a lot of motels.
Yeah, motels on Kingston Road. 400, they had the strip club Caddies there that just went down a couple years ago. But that was the big strip club in Scarborough, right? And then we had a little plaza. We had the movie theater there. But right behind it was 400 was the hood. And there was a lot of action going on there. So I grew up around a lot of like pimps and hustlers and a lot of music going on there too, because a lot of DJs, a lot of block parties.
Like a little bit to the side from that, like the fam, like you have brothers, sisters.
Yeah, I'm the youngest of 5.
5.
Yeah, so I grew up watching my brothers. Like my sister was a 2-sport athlete scholarship back then, so she used to play ball in the hood, and so I grew up in the hood, and my brothers and sisters were out there, and I was like the youngest.
So I gotta ask you, I don't know how much you want to get into that, but you would.
We don't have to get too into it. Right?
No, for sure. But like,
set the stage.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is like, you're like the general, basically, like the face of the block, right?
To you guys, right? Like, so like, why I'm saying this is because I have OGs, right? So I learned from OGs, and then after that, after the 70s and 80s kind of passed, it was like my turn to. It was like my peeps. Now we're taking over 400. We started running 400, and we're slipping in. Now we're slipping into the 90s, right? And then like
no, even before that though. Before that.
Yeah.
So like you were already active, not even in that sense, but you were making moves in all aspects. Like at 14, you were already like.
So yeah, at 14 years old, cause like
Right.
So I grew up in 400. So I was dancing as a kid. I was around pimps and hustlers, and hip hop was already kind of going on in 400, right? So I'm watching hip hop, I'm talking like 85, 80, 83, 82, 80.
Like who you watching at that time? Yeah, who's the main influence? Like who are you watching?
There was a guy back in the days who used to rap, and he was probably he was from my neighborhood, and he was like one of the biggest influences on me. And his name was MC Rumble. You guys,
big up MC Rumble. Big up, you know.
He used to rap. He had a group. He ended up having a group called Rumble and Strong. But I remember it was Rumble back in the days. And then he used to hang out with me, and he was a little older than me, and he really got me into it. Then I was breaking with a lot of crews, so I used to break, and like it was very it was like New Yorkish at the time. Like not most places in Toronto at the time were very West Indian, but my neighborhood was very New Yorkish.
I grew up like very influenced by West Indians, you know what I'm saying? Like even like the Jamaicans were like my number one influence growing up because I wanted to do, I was the hype and all that stuff.
I had Jamaicans, and we had everybody there. We had everybody from all walks of life there. But the neighborhood wasn't like a West Indian culture was prominent. It was there. It was the underbelly of it. But it was very New Yorkish, very hip hopish.
Because I seen your videos, I see multicultural, different races, right?
Yeah, so we had everybody there, right? I grew up with every kind of race, right?
Right.
So
that's what Toronto is like, maybe would you say New York is like that? Or it's like Toronto
but it was like that with the blacks and Puerto Ricans and stuff. But I'm just saying like, when I grew up, there was a lot of hip hop and a lot of stuff like that. So I was breaking, and stuff like that. So then I
were like, good, like amazing breaker, not just.
Yeah, I was good. There was better. I was young, right? So there was older guys who were breakers, and everybody was teaching me. All the OGs were teaching me everything about hip hop and the streets. So they taught me. So what they were telling me about New York and stuff. So at 14 years old, I just got up, and I went to the airport. I didn't tell my mom or nothing like that, and I just hopped on a plane and I went to New York.
So you had money for it?
Yeah, but I just hopped on the plane and went to New York, and I got off the plane and I took a cab to Flatbush, and then there's a guy
at 14.
Yeah, 14 years old, and there was a guy I met.
That's crazy. How many 14-year-olds are gonna do that?
And there was a guy I met who was up here in Toronto, and I just met him, and I went to New York, and then I called him. And I go, yo, I'm in New York, and then he picked me up. And then I stayed in New York for like a month.
A guy from, how do you know?
A guy from New York I met that was up here.
Okay.
And I just went down.
He's way older though, he's not 14.
Yeah, he was older than me.
Okay.
So I went there, I'm 14 years old, and he's like in his 20s, and he took me all around New York. He took me graphing with graffiti artists. He took me to nightclubs. I went to Studio 54. I went to.
We're talking, what year are we talking this?
Like 80,
because New York was, so people got to know that New York had like 2,000 something homicides in those years.
Yeah.
Because
he did a trick on me. Here's a funny story. He did a trick on me. It's funny as hell. So I'm off. I get off the plane. I'm not by myself. It's me and my boy, right? Me and my boys, right?
Oh, so you went out there with other people from here?
Yeah, just 2 other guys.
From here?
We were
From
14.
the dot?
We said we got to go to New York, so we go to New York.
Okay, so 3 guys from the dot.
So we're down in New York, and we get to Flatbush, right? And we're like, we're in the street. We're in the middle of Flatbush, right? And it's like a hood, like the buildings are around and shit like this. And we're just sitting there. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And he goes, okay, just wait at the phone booth. I'll come get you. And we're at the phone booth waiting, and these 2 big guys come walking down the street. We're 14 years old. And
that's
then
that's crazy.
They walk up to me and they grab my bags, and they grab all of our bags, and they start walking away. And we're like, yo, and we're looking at each other. We're thinking, what are we gonna do, man? We're in the middle of New York, and these 2 big thugs took our bags. So one of my friends goes, I don't give a fuck, right? And he walks up behind the guy, and he goes, yo, give us our bags back. And the guy goes, run. And we're like, no, we start backing up. No, give us our bags back. 14 years old in the middle of New York in '84. And then my friend comes around the corner laughing. He set him up to scare the shit out of us.
So the guy didn't, one of the guys did this?
So I spent months in New York. I learned everything about hip hop. And when I came back, right, I came back to my hood, and my hood was already hip hop. But I delved into hip hop so much that when I came back, my style, my fashion was different.
So when did it start? Like hip hop entered Toronto?
No, from 70s, man.
70s?
Yeah, 70s probably.
So
early 80s at least, right?
Okay,
but before I get there, it's already here.
So you brought the New York influence out here.
I wanted to go see what's going on, right?
So you brought it back.
And I brought it back. I had a lot of influence. So like my graffiti, I started bombing trains. I started graffitiing people's clothes. And by the time I was like...
Because you were an artist too, right?
Yeah. So by the time I was 17, because I went down there, and the barbershops were like... It's a good thing that we're in Conrad's, because he's part of the story. Because I used to go to Conrad's barbershop, and it was just like it was his dad. It was not the guy who owns it, but his dad used to run it, and it was like old men cutting hair. And when I went to New York, I saw barbershops where they were doing designs and cuts. So I came back and I bought equipment, and I taught myself how to cut the hair like New York. Then I opened my own barbershop in Scarborough.
So like how many years was that process of learning? Like how many years?
So by the time I'm 17.
So from 14 it started.
By the time I hit 17. I own my own barbershop in Scarborough at Market and Eglinton.
So you had money to open a barbershop?
Well, I got people invested because I was cutting everybody's hair in my basement.
Oh, so it was like
So I had a barbershop in my basement. And my brother's friend, his name is Dave Whittemire, he came up to me and he goes, yo, if you do this in your basement, why don't we just get a building and do it in the shop, right? So we opened up a shop called Cut Creators at Markham and Eglinton, and then I got so busy that I was making so much money, but I got so busy that I was working from 7 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock at night cutting hair. So I started hiring young guys like me.
Mm-hmm. So like 17.
To cut hair, and I would teach them how to cut hair. So I had like 15-year-olds and 17-year-olds, and we're all in the shop cutting hair and making money. And I was paying them and teaching them how to cut hair, and I didn't even have a license. So to get a license, I had to get one guy named Winston Edgehill. He had a license. So I had him in the shop. I mean, he's my OG. So I brought him to the shop, and he had a chair, and he licensed all of us so we could cut hair. And I did that for a while. And then I started cutting Missy Me's hair because I got so popular. Everybody around the Toronto would come and cut hair, and I started cutting Missy Me's hair.
So she'd be older than you, or like
she's older than me.
Older.
And then I started cutting because I had a barbershop.
And what was she known for? Just so like because guys are gonna from like Americans are gonna watch.
Missy Me is the mother of Canadian hip hop. Like she's like the big OG. She's the one who
That's the queen.
She's the first she's probably the first big superstar of rap before Maestro. For everybody. Like she was rapping with KRS-One. Yeah. And so she met me, and then she learned I used to cut her hair, and then she learned I could dance and stuff because I was a break dancer. So I sold my shop, and I went on tour with Missy Me. And she took me, I was going down, I was doing shows with EPMD, I was doing shows
So you're doing like a million things at once, basically.
I'm doing shows with Run DMC, I'm dancing for Missy Me. I'm doing shows with Run DMC, the Fat Boys, I'm doing shows with Yellow Man, I'm doing shows with Patra, I'm doing shows with Shabba Ranks.
So you had no problem entering the States and back?
Oh, I was going back and forth all the time. I was going to Jamaica, I was going everywhere, just doing shows after shows. And this is I'm 18, 19 years old.
You're doing this not music. This is
I'm
breaking?
dancing.
You're
I'm dancing.
So what ages is this happening? So okay,
I'm
you
like
started
18,
dancing like
19 years
14
old.
basically, no?
I was dancing since a kid.
Since a kid, okay.
But
like,
then I started doing that, and then after I started doing that, I started doing music videos. I started choreographing music videos, and I started doing stuff with Kim Mitchell and Alanis Morissette. So I was really big in the scene. So I was
So Alanis
everywhere.
Morissette must have been super young, no? At that
Yeah,
time?
she was young when she first came out, right? And she was more R&B back then, so I was choreographing her stuff.
Isn't she's rock now? No.
Yeah.
History, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
She did R&B.
Yeah, before when she first came out, she was like a Britney Spears.
Oh damn, I don't remember that
Yeah.
part. I just remember like her singing, right?
Yeah.
Like a rock.
Right, so I did that for a while, and then I was like I'm in my hood, and we're all hanging out, and this is all going on, and I'm taking these guys out. And I was like, yo, man, I'm learning the industry. So why don't we just start doing it? Like what we got to do, what we're doing on the block, we can sell all this.
Yeah.
So then I got all my friends together, and then we started doing, because I was dancing, and I was bringing all these guys downtown, and we were going to clubs, and we were meeting everybody, and we were going to award shows. You remember all that stuff?
All that stuff.
So I was taking the hood, I would say I was one of the first.
Buffaloes,
I was one of the first guy from the hood to infiltrate the industry. With
One
the hood.
question, Doug. One question. How would you your come up? How would it be different from like Chaclair's come up?
Totally different.
Totally different.
Like in what way though? Break it down.
I'm from the hood. I grew up in the hood. Like he's like you don't have to grow up from the hood. It doesn't matter. But I'm a hood nigga. Like
100%.
all my friends are like it's hard to explain. Like when we go down to New York, so we started doing music, we started going down to New York, we started traveling, right? So when we went down to New York, right, guys like Terror Squad and
I grew up listening to those guys.
Yeah,
Big Pun and Fat Joe.
yeah,
those
guys
guys.
like Wu-Tang, guys like all these big groups that were out there. When we went down there with our crew, they looked at us like them.
So you talk to like Terror Squad and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Fat Joe.
yeah, Fat Joe got us to a concert with Digging in the Craze.
Open for Wu-Tang, all that.
Yeah, we go so I used to go down to New York and headline, and Afu Ra and all those guys would be my openers. So I was headlining shows in New York.
So listen, we're going to talk about this a little bit later. Because,
Yeah, but
I have something similar.
this is pretty early in my career, right?
No. What you're saying is right, but I had something I want to say, but I'm going to keep it for a little bit later. But it's related to this.
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
that's crazy though.
So what's different is that my vibe, it's not my vibe, it's just my hood. So I was doing my hood. Chaclair is doing Chaclair, like he's doing a guy, right? I'm doing my hood. Spade,
Put all of us
but
on,
me, Spade is just my name. They call me Spade even if I wasn't rapping, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Block-
But I can even break it down a little bit. Like you have me, Third Degree. You have Khalifa.
Yeah.
You know. You have Risky G.
Yeah.
You have Peep Show. You have DJ Wicked.
So
you have,
wait.
like tons of
Wait.
So
I'll bring that up.
So I like
I'll
to
put it in after.
So I like to point out something that I really shouldn't be talking about, but I'm gonna talk about it because I was talking about it with my man to them earlier, right?
Yeah.
Is that I'm growing up and I'm 15 and I'm doing a barbershop and I'm dancing, I'm doing all this stuff, and all my friends are the biggest gang in Scarborough.
Yeah.
So before every gang in Scarborough, the gang in Scarborough was the Scarborough Bandits.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest game. It was probably one of the biggest games in
No,
Toronto.
I've heard about that
right?
too, actually. And it's,
So that
it's
was
documented.
so
Documented.
that's
History is history.
Yeah,
Everything was just
that's my
historical,
crew.
you know?
So I was rolling with guys who were real. Like, you know, I'm not the biggest gangster in my crew. Like, I'm probably the least gangster in my crew. But my crew, I roll with were like the biggest gangsters, right? And it's funny too, because I never understood it, because I wasn't like the biggest gangster and stuff, but you guys always treated me like I was in charge. Like,
No, because it's I mean,
That's what
you had something to offer. You had music, you had
I
different
heard
things.
like you're the general.
no, yeah, that's what I mean. I never understood it because I was the general, but I wasn't the biggest gangster. So if someone came up to me and I wanted to fight them, and I approached them to fight them,
You wouldn't have to fight.
I couldn't get to them
Nah, you
because
wouldn't have to
my
fight.
crew
You
would
have-
just
you have
take
people,
them out.
yeah, that's
I
what
was
it
going to like the Junos 30 deep.
Yeah,
I was going to like the Much Music Awards 30 deep with guys, and everybody would be like
I
be
said all the
scared.
time, Scarborough's a family.
Yeah,
and
we were
whoever
big.
make sure that we safe. Like he gave us a career.
You never said none of this.
we would do-
You never
yeah.
said. I never heard none of this.
Yeah,
in
but
what
we
you
would
said.
because I was the face. It's like
Yeah.
So like when I see groups like Dr. Dre and the Dog Pound and these guys, I'm not amazed by them because that's what we were. We were that. So when we were going down to New York and we were going to Montreal, we were going to these places. That's who we were. I've never ever went to a place and felt like, yo, there's the dog, there's Dre. Like we always were. We were a real crew. We were a real crew. So it was realness. Like when I never acted a character. I never ever put on an accent. You know what I mean? It was just we were so real that even when we went to New York, guys in New York, like we didn't hang out like we hung out in the streets in New York. We hung out in the streets of Flatbush. We hung out right with the real niggas in Flatbush.
I've never heard a story from anybody like that.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of stories, but I've never heard at 14 for somebody going out there and getting respect like that. Maybe there is other stories like that, but I've never heard it yet.
Yeah, so we were all doing that. We were so after I was 14, we were going back year after year in droves. We were going down like 3-4 cars deep, driving out in New York and just hanging out, staying at my cousin's house on the block, just drinking. I remember one year we took Chaos down because Chaos. I was shooting a video. I was helping Chaos shoot a video, and Chaos was like, "Yo, man, I love hip hop, but I've never ever seen it in the flesh." I go, "You gotta come down to New York with us." Yeah. And he goes, "We go every year." So I took him down to New York, and when we went to New York, we pulled up in Flatbush, and my boys,
He could never pull up on his own like
that. No, so we pulled up in Flatbush. Here's the story. I pull up in Flatbush, and he walks. He goes, "Yo, you guys reach? Yeah." And he's handing us Heinekens and 40s, those guys drink 40s, and we're handing us blunts, and we're smoking on the blunt, and Chaos is in shock. Chaos is like, what the fuck is going on? Like, these guys walked in New York Flatbush, and they're just blended in and this is like the hood.
It's important for the people to know that New York was crazy back in the day.
Yeah. New York was the roughest place to be.
It was crazy.
And we went to the hood and we were hanging out.
I got a lot of family out there, and they told me my family used to live where it's at that part, Staten Island is where it's near the ferry where Wooden Clan's from, and then there'd be a lot of robberies, man, out there. Yeah. Like a lot of my family, when you come from work, it's normal to get robbed out there back then. It was crazy.
So Chaos was like, I'm not staying here. And he jumped in the cab and he left because he couldn't want to stay with us because he was like, "This is crazy."
Well, he had up a hotel and stuff.
Yeah, he went to a hotel in Manhattan.
Yeah.
So like, but that's how it was for us, right? So like, we were like I rap, but I wasn't. I don't really think we were rappers.
So wait.
Let's get
to the point. Well, let's get to the point. So you cutting hair. You're breaking. This is happening at the same time. You break dancing and cutting hair.
So I was a break dancer. Then I started graphing. And then I started cutting hair. And then from cutting hair, I met Miss Yumi. And then I started dancing.
Okay, so when does this happen? What year does this happen? How old are you when you met Miss Yumi and started dancing?
I'm like in 1920.
1920. Okay,
yeah, so now I'm dancing.
Are you done with cutting hair at that moment?
Yeah, I sold my shop.
At 1920, you're done cutting hair, and you're moving on to dancing.
Yeah, I move on to dancing. While I'm dancing, I'm painting murals because I'm a graph artist. So I was painting murals downtown, all the nightclubs downtown. Because I used to work.
Yo, dog, you're a talent, man.
So they used to
historical.
Yeah. So good talent.
So they used to all the clubs downtown. There was a rich mafia guy downtown who owned the clubs downtown, and he hired me for the clubs, right? And I used to paint all the murals in the clubs. And then I used to help put on nights. And these guys, we'd go to clubs. So when we went downtown in Toronto, right? There's no lineup for us. Nope. We're walking right in. And sometimes they give us a room because I work for them, right? And I have like a drink tab and everything. So I'm bringing my whole hood to clubs.
Scarborough always been
right?
connected.
So this is like the 90s. So I'm in the clubs and I'm like, not much hood niggas are in the clubs, and I'm like with a crew of the whole hood niggas in the club.
Let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
You were never a guy that get hammered and lose control and stuff.
I got hammered and lose control.
Because you're so focused. You look so focused.
All we did back then is go to clubs and fight the doorman. We fight the doorman every night.
You have no idea.
Right?
And you were involved too, eh?
Oh, we're all like that. Like 30 deep.
Idea.
Yeah. This is like stuff that these guys are like the stuff that these kids are into now. Like we were doing that in the 90s. Because all that stuff is out of my system. That's why I don't get too amped about guys flossing and cars and all. Because I was doing that. I was popping bottles in the 90s. 2020. I'm tired of popping bottles. I've done that. That's child's play to me. Like we did that in the 90s when we were getting bottle service when people didn't know what bottle service was.
Back in the days of something called Cristal. You know what Cristal is?
Yeah. We were in our apartments drinking Cristal. Like it was just like people were drinking Heineken and we were drinking champagne.
That's normal days.
Shit, I can't find. I was drinking 40s and Heinekens.
So like we were living a life that guys would want like back then. Right, so rapping.
This is which years? Like 1920, 21,
we were rapping
the late 80s to early 90s.
No, I mean the age. Like we're talking
so
20,
we're in
21,
our 20s,
22. Yeah.
We're in our 20s, right?
Okay, so I have so when do you start rapping?
So this is happening, right?
You're all listening to rap. You're growing in rap.
This is happening, right? Yeah. We're doing this. I'm in the clubs. We're running the clubs. We're running the clubs. Like, okay, I'm gonna get into this, right? It all blends in because we run the clubs. It's to the point. Like Freshie will tell you, it was to the point that we're in clubs and like back then I was a real player. Like ask you guys, Freshie, I was a real player. Like any woman I wanted, right? So we'd be in clubs and I'd be just handing guys women. Right? So we were living this lifestyle, right? And then I'm like, yo, we should start rapping and portray who the fuck what we're doing. Because none of these niggas are doing what we're doing. No one in Toronto was doing what we were doing. Because guys were going to reggae clubs, guys were going to house parties, right? Acting, getting big and doing all that stuff. But we were going to the big major clubs. We were going to like the Junos. We were going to like celebrities. Like I was like I don't know, I was dating celebrities. I wasn't dating regular girls. I was dating celebrities.
That's crazy shit. You were dating like regular girls back when you were in the
I was dating runway models. He can tell you.
Yo, Doc, but at this time you're still living in 400.
I'm not rapping yet.
You're still living in 400.
I'm still living in 400, and I'm not rapping yet. But I'm dating models.
So like, from 5 to like 20 something, you're living in 400.
Yeah. So I'm dating models and stuff, right?
Crazy.
So like
trips, going different places.
Yeah, like you guys understand, like the stuff that guys talk about, we're doing in the 90s.
Fresh, you dating models too, or no? At that time?
You know me.
So I said we gotta start rapping, right? Like we rap for fun, but we're never serious, right? So we just started rapping, and my apartment, we put a producer. I flew a guy up from Florida named Finesse, and we put him. He stayed in my apartment, right? Because I had my own apartment from like 17 years old, right? So he stayed in my apartment, right? And he'd make beats all day, and my whole hood, like Khalifa, me.
Okay, wait. So Khalifa lives in the hood?
Yeah, well, he didn't live in the hood, but Fergie lived in the hood.
It's my boy F-Rock, my right-hand man. It's my motherfucking soldier. You know what I'm saying? And it's me and him right now doing Scartown Entertainment. So this is my other half. When you see me, nigga, you see him too, man. This is how we're doing it, you know?
So he had the pass from Freeze, right?
You could see Freeze, and he was young. On the Real Toronto DVD, you could see Freeze for a little bit.
But he was young. Khalifa was young, right? He was really young. So he was our young buck.
Because we came up with Citizen Kane, you know what I'm saying? And those are my dogs right there. They grew us up they grew me up as an artist, you know what I'm saying? Before I was just an underground rapper. You give me a beat and I'll eat it.
And we would sit there and the DJ would be playing, the producer would be making beats. We'd go to record stores, like we'd go to record stores 30 deep, just grab albums, buy a bunch of albums, sit in my apartment, and he'd go through records and make beats. And we sit there and we watch mafia movies.
Taking like samples or what? Like
just taking samples. But we'd be watching, while he's doing it, we're watching mafia movies.
Who's taking that? The producer's taking that.
The producer's over at, okay.
From Florida.
So here's my apartment, right? And at the side, we have the producer all set up like this. We set up all his equipment, right? And then into my apartment, and everybody's in my apartment, right? So this is crazy stuff. So we're watching mafia movies, we're watching conspiracy movies. We're fucking rolling mad blunts, man, hash, everything. Guys are cooking cookie in the freaking kitchen. Guys are cooking crack, right? Right?
We were selling cookies.
And that's when the pagers, back in the days of the pagers. So they just wait for the pagers. They wait for the pager. Right? And then guys would go down and make the chop, and then they come back up. Right? And come back up. That was our whole day. We just sit around and they get a pager. Okay, I got to go. We make our chop and come back. Right? And
what year is this pager stuff?
That's like 98,
97. See, I never heard one. I remember and not even everybody had a pager, no?
Yeah. No, it's expensive. Only doctors.
That's why I never had it.
So I was writing. Like, I was just sit there, write and draw and everything like that. And Khalifa would sit there we'd go through lyrics and I'd teach him some stuff and we'd go over, and then we'd all sit there, we'd go over hooks and we'd go over, we could do this and we could do that and we could do this and we put songs together.
Not mean to break you. That was the same time, the name everybody knows about called Scar Town.
Yeah.
That same time when he's doing all that stuff with Khalifa, that's when they both came up with that name, Scar Town.
Yeah. So,
that's his first album, right?
Yeah. That's the album I know about. I don't know too much.
Yeah, that's Khalifa.
Back to it, man.
So I'm cooking stuff. We're cooking rhymes and stuff like that. We're making beats, and then we'd all put our money together.
Yeah.
Right, because it wasn't just the guys in the group. Like that's why Citizen Kane ain't me. Like Citizen Kane is Freshie. Citizen Kane is my crew.
Family, you know?
Right, it's the crew. Right, I'm just the representative. Like I'm just the spokesmodel. Right, like, you know what I mean.
It's like
so
you turn into Method Man.
Yeah,
that was all Method Man back
so we all go to the studio and record it, and they didn't have house studios and stuff like that. So you'd have to pay $100 an hour for the studio, $100 an hour for the engineer. You'd have to pay a couple $100 just for the 2-inch
And at that
tape.
time, it was $6 an hour at KFC, for example.
Yeah,
I remember because I worked at KFC. It was my first job. We're talking the same years.
Yeah, so to do one song was like you'd pay $800 to $1,000 for a song, right? And we would just all pitch in our money and just go to the studio and drink like this and smoke and just do songs and
but you can't prepare to record.
Yeah, because we'd be in my house working it out. We'd be sitting there, the beat be playing, I'd be rapping, everybody be rapping, and we'd come up with concept. Okay, you're gonna come on this song. Okay, you're gonna come on this song.
So it's a fam though. It was like the unit, right?
Yeah, it was a big unit.
You weren't doing collabs with like Rexmans or like.
No. Everything was in house, and my sister started directing. Right, so then we got the ability to shoot videos. So everything was in house. I was shooting videos in house, and my DJ is one of my DJ friends at the time. This is before Wicked, right? His name is Nick Holder. He's one of the top 10 house producers in the world right now, right? And he used to be my DJ. I grew up. You have to understand this crew I grew up with. I grew up since like the guy who raps with me. He's my best friend since kindergarten, right? So I grew up with these guys.
Who's the guy that raps?
The RP, right?
Enough respect, brother.
So we grew up since kindergarten. So I knew everybody. RP is the other guy. Yeah, so RP is my best friend who's in second half. So I was really the main rapper, but RP raps sometimes. He did a lot of hooks. But he's my like me and him were like.
Is he on tracks like?
Yeah, he's all over it. You can think of him like if I'm Chuck D, like and we're nothing like this. Like he's nothing like this. But if I'm Chuck D, he's like Flav. Like you know what I mean? If I'm Snoop Dogg, he's like Dre. Like he's you know what I mean? Like partners in crime when it came to that.
Enough respect, man.
So we were making tracks and we were just going to the studio, spending all the money. And my DJ was his family owned a record pressing plant. So they press records, vinyls,
all the albums,
right? You know? So we'd go we'd record, take the thing, go get it pressed, and then we go down to play the record, man, and go can you sell my stuff? And then
It was around then too, yeah.
Yeah, and we go down, So
same man.
Yeah, so just
he's Jamaican, right? He's like a Chinese Jamaican. Yeah.
Trini.
Yeah. I remember him. Yeah, he's a good guy, yo. He's one of the. Yo, let me say one thing though. He's one of the only guys that I trusted when I saw the DVD. Yeah. Because I came when it was hot. I came from the back of Play the Record and brought him all the.
That's when there used to be an alleyway in the back.
Yeah, I came from the back alley, took his shit in, and I booked it on the fucking taxi. I didn't know how much enemies I had at the time, but I still had to keep pushing it. You know what I'm saying? So back to the story.
So we went and sold it. We went to Play D and they started selling it, but people started vibing it. So like everything was so in house. It wasn't like
what was the name of the first release?
It was the Epic.
The Epic.
Right. And well at that time I'm talking to Michia, like I know a lot of people in the industry, right? And they wanted me to before we put it out ourselves, we wanted to get signed to Beat Factory.
That was the original.
Because I used to dance for Michi, right? And Ivan Berry owns Beat Factory. Yeah. And he was my manager. Yeah. Right?
At that time.
And
manager and dancing.
For dancing, right?
Rap Essentials and all that.
Rap Essentials, all that. That's all.
Rap Essentials, I remember them.
So he wanted to. I wanted him to get signed, and I played him Black Rain, and he thought it was too violent, right? And
that's the thing in Canada. That's the thing in Canada. That's a barrier, right?
Yeah, he thought it was too violent. So I had another song that was a little bit more positive, right? And I said, okay, how about this song? He liked it. He wanted to fuck with us.
What's the song?
It's called Structure Foundation. Yeah, what's the plan, my man? Yeah. Niggas in the streets try to make a grand, but they don't understand. Yeah.
What it be like? Remember that one?
Yeah, that one's good too.
Yo, what it be like? Is that the new Liggy? What it brief like? You mind to take a swing just to clear myself and feel right? My mind.
But
no, but when I heard like what it be like, I'm like, bro, it took me back to when I was in school and stuff like that. That's how that was the accent.
Talk,
That's the Toronto accent.
Time zone.
What it be like? Huh?
Yeah, what it be like? What's that?
Yeah. It's just like I'm like, yo, this is Toronto. Like where you. I mean, there is New York influence, but when I hear your voice,
it's a bit different.
Yeah, it's different. Like of course, like the way you voice and stuff like this, Toronto.
Yeah.
And one thing like I heard, you know what I'm saying?
Well, like we were saying earlier, we are talking about that, like the accent and stuff.
The accent, yeah. You hearing all the stuff that's happening?
Yeah, I love it because myself, because I used to always go to New York. But one thing I never did, and I always hated myself, but I don't know judgment, right? But I always hated when guys go to New York and they come back and they talk like they're from New York.
Yeah. That's
right.
trash.
So I was like, I like my Canadian accent. And when I went down to New York and I was hanging out with the guys from the hood, they would like my Canadian accent.
It's different to them. You know?
So they would try to start talking like us when we were down there. Before Drake, when we go down to New York, they start saying,
I think it's because they see the respect in you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So they started. So I gained a respect for the Canadian accent. So I always love the Canadian accent. So the way the guys talk now, I love it. Like when people start talking all that stuff and the way they are, yo fam and all that stuff, I go, yo, I love this shit, man.
No, me too. Like I personally, I feel that we're the best, the closest to developing our own stuff and separating from all the others.
Yeah.
This moment right now.
Identity, you know?
Yeah. So I'm having no problem with all of that. Guys can joke and stuff like that, but there's never been more attention on Toronto than now.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah. So it's a funny thing because now Structure Foundation, we're supposed to do some with B Factory, but B Factory decided to do the Rap Essentials and put everybody on, right? So they took Structure Foundation, they put it on Rap Essentials, and I released Black Rain by myself.
That was big.
Right.
Independently.
Yeah, independently, because we
that would be expensive,
because we believed in Black Rain, right?
That's when I told you about that Russell Peters stuff. Remember I told you, like, you know what I mean?
So it got big, right? And so I went. Remember when I went down to New York with Chaos, right? So I went down to New York with Chaos, and we went down to New York to go to the Rocksteady reunion, the Zulu reunion, right? And so that's in the Bronx. So we went down to the Bronx, and we're like, okay, we got this album that we put out. Let's take it down and let's push it. Let's push it.
400 all the way to New York.
Yeah, so I'm in the
That's
Bronx.
back in the early 90s.
You dare to put to promo the
Yeah, so I'm in the Bronx with vinyl, ready to give it to some DJs in New York, and I walk and I see Evil D from
Black Moon.
Black Moon, and I go to Evil D and I go, Evil D, man, like yo, I love your shit. Check us out.
I think y'all copied some of our shit back then because we would do that camouflage back in like 89.
That camouflage, that's why I still do it to this day.
So there's something really, we talking, but go ahead.
Doesn't hit it.
So I see Evil D and I go, yo, here's our vinyl. Can you give it some rinse? He goes, oh, I got that already.
Crazy.
We're like, what?
Exactly.
And that's what we knew was like, okay, this shit is because he copped Black Rain. He liked Black Rain, and he copped it. But yo, I got this shit already.
Let me just pause for a second. Black Rain, right? 89, 90, 91. Black
you have to know that it's like
93.
before the internet, so it had to like word of mouth. It had to be popping for guys to pick it up and to find out about it, right? I mean, like right now,
they must have heard it on the radio somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you can put Spotify right now, and the whole world's connected. But that time was different.
No, it's impossible. You have to physically go and hand stuff out.
See what I'm saying? So
right?
you guys got to know, right? So
that's why I'm in the Bronx. I'm gonna hand it out, and this guy already has it, so he copped it. And we were like, yo, man, that's what we knew, and then from there, we started taking it. We did the app.
Yo, whose phone, dog? Whose phone?
We finished the epic, and that's like Lost Angels and The Gambler and all that stuff. And then we put out the epic, and the epic blew up so much it got Juno nominated.
Yeah.
So it was such a good. It was just 5 songs, and it got Juno nominated. And then now we're a Juno nominated group, right? And this is a group that everybody says we're too violent.
And it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to win something like that in
a
group like that.
Back then, because you need radio play and all that kind of stuff. But like this is a group that everybody says we're too violent, right? And we're probably one of the only independent record labels going on right now, right? So I saw everybody's independent. back then we were like the only independent.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but like you know the way your lyrics are, like it's lyrical, but you do like you don't shy away from mentioning exactly what you know what I'm saying? Like
because like even if
it's
you
not like drill, but you're detailed, right?
Yeah,
so maybe they don't like the detail.
Well, like
It's amazing music.
I always like people who said what they mean. Like I don't I like the double entendres and blah blah blah. They're great, but I rather people just say what they mean. Like I don't want to do work to figure who you are out. Like you should be who you are. I like people who are straight in my face and tell me exactly what they feel and what they mean.
No, for sure.
Right? So
that's why your music connects like that.
When I rap like that. Like
I
rap like the way we are in the streets because we don't want no people talking circles. Fucking stop talking circles. What the fuck do you mean, right? So that's how I rap.
No,
right?
that's definitely your music is straight.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Even Lost Angels, like I did that song Lost Angels, and K Cut from Main Source did that because we were doing stuff for Main Source too, right? And that song is about a real event that happened because we had a friend of ours accidentally kill another friend of ours, right? So I did that song, like I was doing stuff, real stories.
This was at the beginning of you when you started rapping, or in the middle?
This is right at the beginning. This is my first album. This is
the
like
first album.
Yeah. So I'm dropping stuff like that. Like I'm dropping like heartfelt stuff. So, but guys, I'm really speaking for all of us when I'm rapping, right? So I'm telling everybody's story.
Right.
I'm telling the stories of my hood and stuff like that.
Because it touched you, right?
That's why Citizen Kane always been real. You understand? The reason why you like the music because it was always something that was the truth. Not any kind of fake stories or bullshit stories. It was always the truth. That's why you like Citzen Kane.
Yeah, real characters, real events, right? So that's what everybody liked about us, and that's why that's why we decided to do an album.
So you start rapping on your own, or there's the next man, Rob Bly?
No. Rob, I never rapped on my own. Me and Rob are
He's from 400 too.
He's from Trudell, so the hood is like Scarborough is not. It's kind of not like that. Scarborough is like you could be from any hood. Back then, the hoods were united.
I said it all the time.
Yeah.
It's always been a family.
Yeah, the hoods were united. So Malvern.
All young youths listen to what he's saying. It's real shit.
So Malvern, we fuck with mathematics, and mathematics is from Malvern.
Mathematics.
We fucked with a guy named Mission Holiday, and he was a Galloway, right? We fucked with we had in my hood, in my crew, hoods, I had a representative from every hood in Scarborough, right? I had.
What do you say you were from?
Big Six.
Yeah. So we also had we had like you talk about Khalifa. Khalifa represented Midland and Lawrence, right? You understand what I mean? So we had everybody was a representative in our hood. So it was almost like the way we were like the Knights of the Round Table of Scarborough back then. So we were like very like Scarborough was like if we go out. And you mess with you wouldn't even know, right? Because we were so multicultural too.
Like we had in a risky interview.
We had Yugoslavians, we had Italians, we had Punjabis, we had everything.
Somalis, everything.
So you go out, everything. You go out if you see us out, you don't know who we're rolling with because there's all kind of people around us. So it looks like different type of people in one place.
The whole of the assassins.
Yeah. So but you push one guy, then you jump by 30 dudes, right? So I was we were kind of powerful back then, right? You understand what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I remember because I grew up a little later, but I remember those times too.
Yeah, Scarborough was a really united front back then. It was like we rolled really deep and really thick. So now that's why Khalifa's coming out of it, and Mission and Peep Show and all these guys are coming out from what we're doing, right?
Peep Show's Block 13, Cat, right?
Yeah,
right.
It's in the neighborhood.
Let me see.
You know what I mean? We even rolled with
show these guys.
Brass Tacks. We rolled with Brass Tacks.
Peep Show,
yeah, Palmer Court.
He was on my DVD, Peep Show.
We rolled with a lot of cats. Everybody was cool. We were cool with guys.
From Malvern to Palmer Court.
Yeah,
from
Palmer Court.
The end of the line to the front line.
Yeah.
Palmer Court.
When I had my daughter, right? When I had my daughter, I moved with my daughter to Malvern and stayed in Malvern for a bit. So I was able to we were able to move wherever we wanted to move within Scarborough. Right. And it'd be like home, right?
Monolith, IRS,
all those guys.
All family.
So we're talking this, all Scarborough Cool, those years. What years are we talking? Just to give a time.
90s?
90s.
Late 90s?
Late 90s.
Early,
right?
early to late 90s.
Yeah.
All the way to the 90s.
Yeah, so that's what we were doing, right? So when we decided like, yo, let's go bigger. So we started doing the album, and that's when we flew Finesse up, and we started writing and everything like that.
How'd you find out about Finesse if he was all the way out there?
Adrian brought us to him. He found him. We're looking for producers. He's my manager.
So you already had a manager.
Yeah. He never
some-
grew up in the hood though.
No?
He hung out with us, and he was always a straight laced guy. So we made him the manager, right? And he was fucking amazing. Like he's.
No, but that's Scarborough at the time. You know what I mean? We all affiliated like, in all types of ways. So
what age did you guys meet each other?
we all met each other I was probably like 17, 18.
You came here at like what? 13?
I came here at 13.
So we're both immigrants, man, you know.
I'm an immigrant, Grenadian to the ball.
Yeah, and wrestling, you know.
And that's the funny thing. Like everything was in house because like the clothes we were wearing in shows and in pictures we're wearing like freshy stuff. You know what I mean? My photographers, like my brother's friend,
No, I'll give you a little story about that. I went to the block one day, which is 400, right? I'm over at 400 one day, and I heard that I'm at 400,
right?
So they're doing music. I heard they're doing music, you know. So my friend Chet, which is Sprague one, respect Sprague, he told me that they have the block locked up with the music. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna link up with them, and they brought me on tour, brought me my clothes, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As simple as that. You know?
We were like that. We were looking for anybody doing business.
Anybody
in Scarborough. We're like, let's go. Let's go. We were optimistic people, man. We're like, yeah, let's go.
And that's why I call him captain all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's why I call him captain in chief. Because when we were doing things and doing all the trouble on the street, we go to him with our music or we go to him with our clothing line or whatever we were doing in the community, and he would show us the way to get the shit out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Put us in magazines. Because I met the Roots and all the stuff I did with PD Crack and everything.
So you were going to make a connection?
Oh, yeah, because I knew everybody. Like, I don't even like to say this because I'm not really that guy, really. But like, even when I'm down, like I was back when I'm talking about when I was like dancing and I was in the industry and I was bringing guys to these parties before I was rapping and stuff. Like we were supplying all of those guys. We were supplying stuff for all the celebrities.
Yeah.
We were selling to celebrities.
Of course.
So wait,
right?
is Peter Crack, is this the same time though? Because it came up in Risky. Is it the same time?
I'll give you a quick one, okay? When the Roots is coming to Toronto, I'm in the back of a bike with my health insurance brethren, and I'm dropping off whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. So same with me. Like so when Wu-Tang comes, where I'm I'm going down there. Like it was funny too, right? Because this is gonna be crazy shit. I'm gonna tell you right now, because I was a player, right? So there was girls I had there's a couple girls in Much Music that I was messing with, right? A couple of celebrities.
We don't call no names. That was
right?
past, so your husbands don't get angry, okay?
So when celebrities would come down into the green room and give me
so they're all gonna be suspicious now because you're not naming names. So they're all gonna.
It's okay.
They know who they are,
Okay.
right? So when celebrities would come down and they'd be in the green room waiting for the interviews and stuff, they would phone me and say, yo, this so-and-so wants this, and so-and-so wants that, and so-and-so wants that. So I'd go to my boys and say, yo, this guy wants this, and this guy wants that, this wants that. And we wouldn't even charge them. We'd go down and we'd just drop it off to them. And we'd say, what are you doing? Like, we'll take you to the club tonight. And so I was going to the clubs with like Jamie Foxx. I was going to the clubs with like Will Smith. Like this is before I'm rapping. So you have to understand. So when I'm saying I was popping bottles and stuff, I was walking in clubs with these guys in the 90s, right? I was like, I'm coming to the club, I'm taking them to the club, I'm sitting in the club, we're chilling with them in the club. We Souls of Mischief we had once, we brought Souls of Mischief. Yeah. We brought everybody. Like
California.
Yeah, like that's what I was doing, right? So I was very popular, right? So I was popular before I picked up a mic. I was who I was before I had a grab.
What do you think it is? Charisma, street cred? What do you think made you popular?
I'm just born that way. Like that's the way I was. Like he can tell you, I was born that way. I was popular when I was 12. Like I was going to nightclubs at 12.
So confidence, I think.
Yeah. It's just the way.
No, there's got to be like why.
Okay, give a quick example.
DNA, man.
Sports. That too was play sports.
I play sports.
You know what I'm saying? Track and field. He played basketball. He's also one doing graffitis.
Has rhythm. You know, because some kids, you know what I'm saying, like they're wondering, like.
Well, like I was very talented. I was very, very talented, right? And I don't like to say that because everybody has their own talents, but I had obvious talents. Like I could paint, I could draw. I was a great athlete, right? I was,
Girls show you love.
yeah. Well, I think the girl showed me love because of that.
Right,
Like I don't think I'm like
Once you're talented,
Clark Gable or anything like
they're
that.
gonna
But,
get to you. You know what I'm saying?
but I confidence is everything, right? So I'm like that. I'm hanging out with celebrities. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, back then.
Kids are gonna wanna see, kids are gonna see this and gonna wanna be you, and they're gonna wanna know how to be you.
but I'm doing this when no one in the hood is doing this anywhere in Toronto.
So you're born.
I'm
to do
the
it.
one
You're
doing
basically born to do it.
Yeah, so I'm the one because like it's like I'm kicking down the door for the hood.
That's it.
In the industry.
Real shit, man.
Like so that's why a lot of the guys in the streets show me a lot of respect
100%.
because I brought them to the industry in Toronto.
Even the CD has like a whole page of shoutouts. I couldn't even finish reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because I brought the hood. I represented the hood in the industry, and I brought the hood there, right? And I worked with everybody so my street cred is not only about where I grew up and what I was doing, but a lot of my street cred and respect comes from the fact that I did that. I went to the industry in Toronto and I brought my hood. It wasn't like it's not like I went to the industry and sold out my hood. I brought my hood there.
That's what I said to you earlier.
You actually refused to change.
No, but that's what I said to you earlier. Like, he went, he got a break, and there's only the other people in Toronto. You know what I'm saying? He never closed the door.
Yeah.
He came and grabbed Khalifa. He grabbed me. And because he grabbed me, I grabbed Risky. Then Peep Show.
Yeah.
Then this and that, whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. Like, you have Camouflage. You have everybody else. Because they're the same
Camo too?
Yeah.
Of course, because he brought
Camo,
me.
yeah.
I brought Camo.
You know Camo too?
It's all from the same camp.
Camo's my hood, man.
Yeah. That's
He's the next generation, but
yeah. No, because Camo's amazing too.
Yeah,
like,
he's tough.
lyrics are tough.
He's tough as
We're gonna
hell.
do an interview with Camo for sure.
But example, like, you know, even my son, you know what I'm saying? Crooked letter schemes.
Yeah.
It's all because of him. Because I'll be still on the street doing some, you know what I'm talking about?
I would have probably been.
So he opened the door. And he gave all of us influence. You know what I'm saying? And he was never the type of guy that shows it the wrong way. You know what I mean? He shows the right way. How we can make money from this, how we can go on tour, see different places.
I always thought like we were doing a lot of dirty stuff, right? And I always felt like, yo, there's a better way.
Real talk.
Right? And I go, this music is a better way. Like hey man, Fresh, you got a line, let's go. There's a better way. We can make money.
I got a thing. So, but you were successfully independent. Like you were
100%.
selling units.
But at the time, I'm the most successful independent.
100%.
So it was paying.
Yeah, well, at that time when I released it, if I'm correct, I was the highest selling independent hip hop act in Canadian history.
So with that money, you can live off that or no?
No, because to make records back then, I was breaking even. Because to make records,
breaking even. Though.
To do my album, it cost me $650,000.
Oh shit! But you broke even.
I broke even,
bro.
So that's success.
That's success.
They told me
what? Then say it again. How much?
$650,000
To be independent.
You
understand? Is you're spending your own money on what you get in your own pocket to get an attendee for one.
No grants.
Some grants,
but
you have to meet them halfway. So altogether, grants and my money and everything, that's $650,000. Because grants you don't have to pay back, right?
You have to pay back?
No, you don't have to pay back.
You don't have to.
Right? But I'm getting grants to shoot a video. I'm not getting grants to do my music.
Right.
So my music, so I'm.
You gotta press CDs.
What grants were like 25,000 or something like that? No.
30 grand, and then you have to meet them halfway, right? Because films were really.
So what do you mean meet halfway?
Video,
you pay half?
Video to shoot a video cost you $60,000. Because you had to get $1 million camera, you had to buy the tape, you had to get $1 million lights.
You have to have props, all that bullshit.
You have to have a crew.
Yeah.
It's not like now. It's
now you have
the technology.
The
technology is totally different. So it costs
you dealing with Bush Music, you're dealing with MTV, you're dealing with you know what I'm saying?
So your quality has to be a certain quality. So
they won't even accept you if you had your own camera back then.
So it cost you $60 grand to shoot one video, and I was shooting videos all the time. Right? So
that's cool. Still, that's very interesting, bro.
Yeah, that's what I understand. That's what you guys understand. So when I'm rapping, right? This is the difference between a guy like me and a guy like a lot of these guys now.
Word from the wise, man.
Is that I wasn't said, hey man, I want to rap. I was nominated to rap. For you to rap back in the days, you had to get the okay from your hood.
Of course, 100%.
Your hood had to nominate you as the rapper. So guys be rappers saying,
because you'll be the face, basically.
Yeah, so you're the face of the hood. So you couldn't just do it because there's so much people invest in you. They don't want to waste the time.
That's
so
cold still.
They had to nominate the right person, and they nominated me, and they treated me like the leader. I was never ever, even though I'm not the leader, but they treated me like that because I was the face, right? So I said, let's go, we're doing this, no question. How much money we need? Let's go. Like that's
crazy.
So I was moving like that, and these guys don't understand that it's a totally different vibe.
Right now you could be like,
yeah. So I was like the mayor. I was like the mayor of our of
That's
Scarborough.
what you came off to me. That's what I'm saying in general, right?
Yeah.
No, but simply, anybody had talent, and you think that the talent is okay, and they're willing to put the work in, he would be like, you know what? Come, I'll bring you on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're going on tour here. We go to this city.
Well, that's
town.
only because my friends were putting me on. So I that was how we did it. We put each other on. There was no hate stuff. We didn't look at each other and say, no. We put each other on. We put each other on all the time.
Exactly.
And that's how we moved back then. And at least that's how my crew moved. I don't really know how other crews move. But my crew,
different, yeah.
That's how we moved.
Yeah.
Right? We were one cohesive unit. Like if someone if just say a freshie or another guy's walking around and he goes, yo, I'm Citzen Kane. And he goes, you're not Citzen Kane. And they go, no, I'm Citzen Kane. And then that person would walk over to me and go like this. Is he Citzen Kane? I go, yeah, he's Citzen Kane. Because we're all Citzen Kane.
Yeah.
I got a question.
You understand what I mean?
Of course,
like,
100. Yeah. But I got one thing. Do you think like nowadays people are looking for the quick come up more than before?
It's just changed.
It changed. Like
it's
what?
More, it got more individualist. Like guys, when the studio went to the basement, then everybody started doing things on their own. Right, but it wasn't like that. And I could have went on my own.
It took a lot to do something.
I could have went on my own, but there is no desire in me to be on my own. Even now, even when I went on my own for a while, and because my boy went away, right?
So let's talk about. Okay, no, you finish this off.
Because my boy went away, right? And I was on my own for a minute, right? I still represented us as a group.
So the boy, like they gotta know the group consisted of the two main members of the group.
Yeah, me and RP.
And the full name?
Rob.
I'm not gonna give you his full name.
No, Rob Bly, no? Is that
right? Rob Bly, but we call him RP.
Okay, yeah, not the Gavi, but I mean like Rob Bly was his rapping name.
Yeah.
So all the releases were you two, or it was some releases with just you on you?
No, everything was both of us.
Both. So
even today, if I write a rhyme, he's in the back of my head giving me lyrics.
Well, what's he doing right now? Why is he not rapping?
Shit is real, man. Shit is real.
After, family members,
you guys, this is the biggest advice I give to anybody in the hood, right? When I go to the hood and I talk to the kids in the hood and they talk about, yo, man, I don't give a shit, man. I don't give a shit. I'm the toughest motherfucker. I don't give a shit. If they kill me, they kill me. If I go to prison, I go, yeah, but what if you live, man? What if you don't go to prison, and you're 40, 46 years old, and you're gonna still hang out on the block? You're gonna still what if you live? You're not planning to live. You're only planning to die. But what if you live, right?
Word from the wise, man.
You understand what I'm saying?
Of course, 100%.
And that's why we still third degree.
Yeah. So now we're older, right? We're older gentlemen thugs. We're older,
Citizen
and
Kane.
life is real, and people. Even though, no matter how much it hurts, guys go like this.
Still a man of
you know what I mean? No matter how much it hurts. And to this day, he's my loved brother, right? I love him with all my heart, right? But he's on a path and I'm on a path, right? And there's no path. I know for a fact, there's no path that he's on that I'm not in spirit with him, and there's no path that I'm on that he's not in spirit with me. Nope. And that's how. And everybody in my crew, every freshie, Swelly, my boy Adrian, everybody in my crew, Michael, everybody in my crew, Cosmic.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like all these guys, everybody, and my crew's deep. Like Freeze, Khalifa, like Mathematics. Yeah. They're always with me because we're more than just crew. We're brothers. We're family. They're more family to me.
We us at the end of the day. We all came up the same way.
Yeah.
We all have a love for each other at the end of the day. We're never gonna break the love. It's domestic violence is every family. Because all broken domestic family. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Whoever I'm talking to, know who I'm talking to. I'm sorry, brother. But domestic family, domestic partner in every family. But I still love you, brother.
It's true.
We still in the same family.
We are more. They're more my family than my actual family. To me,
Yo, give
in
me
my life,
the right
right?
glass though.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, right? 100%, brother. Of course.
Yeah, because I know these guys since we playing in the dirt, right? Like, so
We just gotta hear you say it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So
Big up 400.
the RP is like he like the streets is real, man. If you could try to get out of it as quick as possible. That's all I say about it. Try to get out, because life outside of it is very lovely. My life outside of the hood is very lovely. This is the happiest I've ever been in my life. So, but as living in the hood, I was an angry young motherfucker. But now I'm an old happy man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
you more or less look like in the videos. I mean, we're all old and shit, but I mean, you're more or less.
Old? How
You
the fuck
can.
could you call a nigga like
Because I
you
seen.
old, nigga? Tell me
Shit,
what?
no.
Old and young. Young and old.
Okay,
You know
we're
what
young.
I'm saying?
We're young. Yes.
Once you have good breath, long life, good health, and good strength.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And balance your party life, young ones. Balance your party life.
well, you speak for yourself. I love being old. You know why I love being old? It's the greatest accomplishment you ever do, because not everybody makes it, right? So I love being old. I cherish age, man.
Nah, I mean, I'm trying to use them know that
Yeah.
we ain't that old. You
No,
know
we
what I'm
ain't that
saying?
old.
No, of course not.
We good. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but we're comfortable where we're at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so RP goes away,
Yeah.
and I'm left doing
What years are we talking? Just so guys can understand.
after 2000.
2005.
No, that's earlier than that.
No, 2003, but 2005 is when, you know?
Okay, so during that time, I'm having because of my album, my CD, I do a whole 13th album, Deliverance, and that's nominated for a Juno. So now.
Biggest.
Before we get to that, there's a very
all
important story.
across Canada for that. All across Canada because of the album.
That's
all
a Deliverance.
across Canada because of the album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First time I signed autograph because of this album. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's
But
like,
let him continue.
So there's a crazy thing about the album, because before we did the album and we presented to Universal Records wanted to work with us, and I came to Universal Records and I told them, listen, man, here's our album. I go, we got a record label. I go, I got artists that I want to bring out. I was gonna do. You see how Rockefeller Records was out, and what other was out then? Another label.
That was Rockefeller.
Death Row was
Death Row
out,
always got to-
and Bad Boy was out.
Murder Inc. always
Right?
got to-
Treehouse was gonna be like that. So we're gonna bring out Khalifa. We're gonna bring out every Mission Holiday. We're gonna bring out everybody.
And they're gonna bring
Everybody.
with the fashion.
We're gonna do all of that.
You know what I'm saying?
So we had
That's still gonna be popular work.
this was gonna be our clothing line.
and it's gonna still pop right now.
So I'm
We're gonna
present,
have-
so I'm presenting this to Universal Records, and I'm presenting to Universal Records in 2000. I'm saying this to them, and they're telling me, "You're too violent. Your music's too violent. It's too much about the hood."
Universal Canada?
Yeah. they're
But
saying-
that Universal over there wouldn't tell you that, right? It's just in Canada, but like there's some weird thing.
No, yeah,
No,
Can-
it was
no, Universal
Canada.
Canada. But they were telling me, right, that I'm too gangster to bring out, and they, as a Canadian image, they don't want that gangster image, and he didn't
Wait,
want.
at that same time Infinite was out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was about to sign the dotted line, so I went to meet him to sign the dotted line, and he told me he asked me to change my image to be more like and I'm not disrespecting
But don't
anybody.
forget,
I know it.
But at that time, hip hop was going through a different, you know what I mean? They were trying to take away the hardcore street stuff. They want to tell the stories and bring what you call the plans.
Well, like what year is this?
That's from
2000.
2000 time. Because Deliverance came out in 99, brother. It was the hardest album. You understand?
Yeah,
Everybody
it's
loved
tough.
it. It was going crazy. But at that same time,
There's no weak track you ever put out.
Never.
No, so
Fucking crazy.
so the record labels don't want to put up my stuff, and they're asking me to change my image.
Yeah.
And it's Deliverance album. I'm handing it to them. I haven't put it out yet, right? No, I'm good, right? And I'm handing them just like that album like this. I have it all done. The Universal didn't do shit. I'm handing them that, but this is my album, and they're like, it's done. They don't have to do nothing. They just have to put it out, right? And there's two gangsters, two this or two that, and they go, it won't sell in Canada. I go, you're not gonna sell this, and I'm like, okay. I go, how much do you think I can sell if I'm doing it myself? And he goes, you're gonna sell 5,000 records.
That's what
if
he
you,
thought.
He goes, if you sell 5,000 records in Canada,
in Universal, that's what you thought, man.
Yeah, he goes.
We had the whole street team locked down. That was part of my job.
That's true. That's
You
true.
understand? We had soldiers.
Yeah.
Everybody started doing bad things. I was pushing Citizen Kane CDs, T-shirt.
So let me tell him.
Yeah.
Listen. So they told me if I sell 5,000 records, they'll sign me tomorrow. They'll sign the group tomorrow. They'll sign like we're ready to go now.
Street team was ready.
So we got the street team. I just got everybody in my hood. We went out and we just bombed the whole city. And then my sister filmed it.
Yeah.
My sister
Big
filmed
up
it,
Allison.
right?
Love,
as a documentary, right?
Yeah, I seen the documentary. She did amazing work.
Raising Kane.
So I now I put it out, and I don't know who did it because I personally do a deal with HMV with selling CDs back then and Sam the Record Man to do it all across Canada, and they put a block on me that I could only sell. Then I could only sell in Ontario, right? And even if I sell in Ontario, I have to sell as an import. So instead of me selling as $13 with everybody else, I'm selling as $25 a CD, an import in Ontario, right? So they're trying to block me.
Y'all did us bad, man.
And they wouldn't they wouldn't shelf me, right? And I end up selling 20,000 copies.
So they didn't sign it. They
No, listen. So I end up selling 20,000 copies. That's what 4 times the amount he's asking me to sell.
You asked for 5,000, give you all
20,000.
20 plus more.
So I come back and meet with him.
Oh, that was a test, basically.
Yeah. So I come back and meet with him. I go, okay, I sold this. I go, you're gonna sign us now?
How long did it take you?
No, but hold on.
At
At the time, we pressing our own CDs.
We're pressing our own CDs.
albums.
We're doing everything.
You understand? All independent. And
Yeah.
you said
hand,
you want
hand to hand, like you have to walk around.
But the label said they wanted 5,000.
Yeah.
We went and sent 20,000 plus.
Yeah.
Sorry, you know what I'm saying? And still, you come back and give us some bullshit.
Yeah,
you know
he still said no. After we did that, he still said no. And we didn't even get to sell across Canada. We just got to sell in Ontario. But we filmed the whole thing on a documentary.
The show proved
right?
what we could do.
So we released the documentary, and it was big. We rented at our own movie theater.
Is that one?
Yeah. So we rented at a movie theater downtown.
Show them. This is a rare thing, but I'm giving. You know what I'm saying? I had this since I was in school. Yeah, I bought this when I was in high school and shit. It's a classic.
Yeah. So we did.
Even my mom knows this. My mom knows this too. You know. My mom supports me and knows everybody. Yeah, it's a super classic.
History. Make sure you go online and copy this. You know what I'm saying? Scarborough's history.
You can still copy it online right now?
But maybe I'm not sure. But so we do that and we release it, and then it blows up in Toronto. It blows up. This has 2 showings in the theater in Toronto we rent out, and then Universal sees it blowing up, and so now I'm entering in the film festivals in LA. I'm winning that film festival. I entered in the film festival in New York. I win that film festival. I entered in the film festival in Australia. Win that. Entered in Japan. Win that. So I'm winning like 10. I'm winning every film festival around the world because, and you guys understand, like, this you got to understand something about me. I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to brag, but this here is the first of its kind. See, everybody's documentary.
Exactly.
They're all copying this.
That's what I'm saying. That was the visual of the hood life for me in school.
Yeah.
Is that a fact or no?
Yeah.
That's what I said to the. That's what I said.
Back in the day. That's what we call him, the boss.
Yeah.
That's what we call him, the guy
I mean,
here.
it's
So we did this.
Yeah.
And the Universal was like, okay, what they did is I had to sign a deal to talk to them. So now I signed a deal to talk to them. I can't negotiate with any other record label. Go only negotiate with them first. They have first dibs on me, right?
Blockers.
Right? So they send me to make me do 2 albums. They make me do an album, and I record 2 albums, right? And then RP goes away.
Right. He's recorded before he goes away.
Yeah, P's on and everything, but he ends up going away. And I have 2 albums done. And these guys are all now these guys are off doing their shit.
Oh, because he goes away.
Yeah, no, like Freshie's off doing the shit, Khalifa's off doing the shit.
Mission Holiday,
everybody, they're all doing their
the
stuff.
whole operation.
Right? And I'm doing my 2, and I'm doing my 2 Peep Show's doing this stuff, everything like that, right?
Peep Show's already actively.
Yeah, everybody's doing. We're a studio doing stuff. We built Dungeonetic Studio. We got our own studio. Everything's popping, right? And RP goes away, right?
Tigo, enough respect.
And then I'm just like, that's my partner, right? Like, what am I going to do without RP, right? And so I eventually just hung it up. And
what year is this?
I don't know, like around that time, 2005, 2006.
So is that? I heard it that much that
Huh?
you would like you That was the reason why you stopped.
That's my boy, right? Like,
that was the reason why
I'm not in it to be a star. I'm in it I'm in it because I'm portraying what we were.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not portraying just me. I'm portraying what we were. And without the we, the motivation is kind of gone.
Well, okay, so that's that. But what about the top left recordings?
So what happened is that so now I'm talking to top left comes to me.
I know that guy.
He comes to me like years after. He comes to me and goes, I would have this thing called Top Left. I would like to have you do a song on it. And I go, I don't rap no more. I go, but I did a song called Top Left back in the days when I recorded it, right? Because Top Left was ours. We created that saying. Top Left. That means, you know what I mean?
He's an Ottawa guy. That guy.
Yeah, but the say Top Left is our slang. Like we had our own slang, and Top Left was our slang, right?
Exactly.
So I had a song already called Top Left, and so I did that song like 7, 8 years, probably 10 years before.
So you came up with that term, Top Left?
Yo, not me. It's just where we talk.
No, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
That was your slang.
The original, honest to God, I'll tell you this, honest to God truth. The original Scarborough slang is our slang.
Yeah.
We're the ones who started the Scarborough
Man,
slang.
them came from Flemo.
Yeah.
You know, because I went to school in
Okay, let's hear this.
the 90s, right?
Yeah.
And those guys like JB, those guys, we were in the same school. And at school in 91.
You too, I almost spilled my orange juice and vodka.
No, but then the ones who always just pick up.
Yeah, no, but that's
Man,
the way
them
he
and stuff
flows.
like
Yeah,
that,
he
you know?
flows. He has those.
So I had this album called Top Left, and I give it to him because his production is called Top Left, and he goes, you have this song just sitting there? I go, yeah. I go, I got 2 albums sitting here that Universal never put out, but I've never mastered it, never recorded it, like I never mixed it, but they're just like examples of what I want to do, right?
Yeah, those are. We were listening to that coming in the car right now.
Yeah, so he goes,
that's on Spotify.
He goes, let me put it out. I go, you go only put it out in one circumstance, I said. And he goes, what? I go, it has to be free. So I put it out for free for a long time. And then I put it on Spotify.
Cheers.
Right?
Where's the thing? For the people, bro.
Yeah.
Cheers, Citzen Kane.
Yeah, let's get it for the people.
Let's go back to the history.
So that's when the Scartown Unreleased Classes come out. So the Scartown Unreleased Classes is really the album that should have came out around 2003.
Universal, man.
But Universal wouldn't put it out.
Man.
So you're hearing all that stuff that I was doing. That stuff I was doing way back then.
But like when you rap, like you do 2 bars that rhyme, and then you have a bar that's hanging there, and then the rhyme from the next bar comes in and connects to it. Like how do you explain it, right? Like
I don't know. Like
and then you like the rhyme, like you rhyme it, and then this bar doesn't rhyme, and then boom, the next bar connects, rhymes, and then you.
No,
You
hold
hit
on.
up.
I want to ask you this question.
It's just he has a different kind of rhyme scheme.
What's your most influential rapper? Because
Yeah, I want to
you
ask
got
that.
so many of us that came off you. Who the fuck did you like?
I don't know. Okay, listen. I like a lot of rappers.
Nasty
No, like
stuff.
listen.
I need to know this.
I like a lot of rappers, right? I'm not a jocker. So there's no one I really jock, right?
Yeah.
I like a lot of rappers. But when you're talking about writing, my writing style is not just rappers I'm influenced by. Like I'm influenced by I'm influenced by Shakespeare. I'm influenced by Bob Dylan. I'm influenced by Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, let me ask one thing.
You know what I mean? Like I'm interested in writers. I don't care what genre or what you're doing. It's not just a lot of guys are worried about the flipping of the flow, which I do concentrate on. But I'm also concentrating about the context and how powerful what you're saying is too, right? So I'm just influenced by writing.
No, but the first day, like you know what I mean? Like they say, like
my favorite rapper of all, my favorite rapper.
Like you feel 12, like 9.
So you never heard this?
It was my favorite rapper when I was young.
I never asked him this, man.
My favorite rapper when I was young was Run DMC.
See, the first time I ever know when all my shit came from.
No, but then after, because your style sounds nothing like Run.
Yeah, but like my style is
Wu-Tang or no?
No, I was rapping before
Wu-Tang,
Wu-Tang.
man. So 89.
I started rapping
before those.
I started rapping around the same time Mobb Deep started rapping.
Yeah.
So I'm not influenced by Mobb Deep. I was rapping around the same time Nas started rapping, so I'm not influenced by Nas.
No.
So it's like maybe Rakim, maybe KRS-One.
I mean,
but I was trying to do
me
something.
Me and CK were in the car.
CK,
me and you were in the car, and then we decided it's like between Wu-Tang and Mobb Deep is what the sounds like.
Well, because I'm dealing with main source, right? So main source is
Big up main source,
is,
you know,
is producing
Queens, man.
is producing some of my stuff, right? So main source is the guys who brought out
Nas
Nas.
Yeah.
Nas was like the head
Hold
of
up. Y'all
Queensbridge.
Toronto motherfuckers never knew that. You understand? There's
Yeah.
a historical factor right there. You understand?
So indirectly, my style, right? My style, mathematics style, our style, and the Queensbridge style is birthed from the same
cloth.
it birthed at the same time in two different directions. So it's birthing in Canada with us, and then it's birthing in Queensbridge with Nas.
That's crazy stuff. You know,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
No,
But it's coming from the same tree because it's all coming from main source.
Another example again. Prince, Snow, Chills,
Yep.
Queens.
I would say they don't give Snow enough credit.
What is all?
Yeah, right. I mean, like Snow's an
Yeah.
OG, right? So
Yeah.
like guys,
But-
they think it's a joke, but like when you really think about,
Prince and Snow they're legit, man. Like,
they're crazy. I mean,
Toronto has a habit of just hating on people.
but just to get off topic for 1 second, Snow learned like the pop one stuff growing up in Lambert in his hood, right? Allenbury, and then he went to Jamaica. He got mad.
But there was a lot of.
Pickering first.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna talk about this. There was a lot of
small
back in the days. There's a lot of back in the days from like the 80s. There was a lot of white boys who were killing
He
the
was
sound
a fighter.
system. There was a guy back before Snow and
Knock
everything.
your fucking face
There,
off.
there was a guy named Brother Different. He's a white boy with glasses, and he
Big
was
up to Brother Different.
he was what?
That was his name? What was his name?
His name was Brother Different. So he was a white dude, right? Maybe you guys understand, man. I know my shit. There's a guy named Brother Different.
Toronto history
Yes,
right
sir.
here.
And he's a
Toronto
white dude,
history.
and he looked like Peter Griffin. He had glasses on, right? And he had a button-down business shirt, right? And then like when sounds were playing, like when Chic was playing and these guys were playing, right? He'd come on. He was a selector. He was a DJ, and he'd come on. And when he came on, and Brother Different would go boom, boom. The fucking place is fucking going crazy. He was probably the first white boy on the mic and he was a legend.
We going
Brother
back.
Different,
You hear that? Brother
right?
Different,
So
man. Where
white boys in Canadian
Wherever
reggae,
you at,
Snow
man.
wasn't nothing new.
Yeah.
That was already going on.
Yeah.
So you guys, people understand, like the hood in Toronto, it's not like the hood in the States. The hood in the States, you got all blacks and Puerto Ricans.
No,
But the hood in Toronto, you got a lot of
Multi.
you got a lot of the white people, you got a lot of the European people and everything like that. So when I'm growing up in the hood, I'm Yugoslavians, freaking guys from Nova Scotia, everything like that. I'm hanging out with all of them.
the downies out here.
So those Nova Scotians speak patois,
yeah.
right? And I guess and like, you know what I mean? I'm speaking a little Filipino because like the Filipinos are there, and like that's how the hood was with us, right? So when you see white boys doing reggae back in the days, it wasn't a shocker. Yeah, white boys do reggae because white boys talk patois in my neighborhood.
but I think
You
the
know what I
Caribbean
mean?
is the main influence.
Yeah, but in my neighborhood, growing up from the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
white boys talk patois. There was white boys who lived in my neighborhood that were from Jamaica.
Big up Bird.
So
Yeah,
that,
so it wasn't like, we didn't look at like white guys speaking Jamaica all year, because we knew Chinese guys from Jamaica. We knew white guys from Jamaica. That wasn't nothing new. Jamaican and Guyanese and Trini, whatever accent you're speaking, is just an accent. It's not a people.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? It's just an accent. You know what I mean? You go to another country, everybody, no matter what color they are, that's how they speak.
Yeah.
Only up here we're saying, oh, you're trying to be this, you're trying to be that. Like, no, it's just an accent. That's how I look at it. It's just an accent, right?
yeah.
So back in the
because
days,
there's a lot of guys that look different in it. You know
yeah,
what I'm
but back in the days, white boys spoke the way I speak is the way my white boys speak, because I'm not trying to speak hood. I'm not trying to speak black. I'm speaking the way my hood speaks.
Scarborough.
And everybody in my hood
Scartown.
speaks like that.
Speaking Scar
You understand what I
Yeah,
mean? And that's how
100.
Snow was too. Snow was just doing what was going on in his crew.
It's important right now for people to understand, because like
Yeah.
there's this whole accent and this whole fucking, you know what I'm saying, this whole thing is happening right now. So
Yeah.
your point of view will be important
Yeah,
to
yeah.
include in, you know, what people are saying.
We never ever looked at it like, yo, this guy, like it's weird, man. Like the way people are approaching that topic now is amazing to me, because back in the day it was never an issue.
No.
Because the only issue was you got my back and I got your back. That's the only issue. Everything is not, anything else is not an issue. And I don't even got my back in a fight. I mean, hey, I have no money. I have no money. I'm broke. Hey, I got you. Yeah, come sleep at my house. Oh, like, I remember guys, straight up, I remember guys
spitting bus tickets,
knocking on my door. I just got shot, man. I just got shot. And the cops are looking for me. Come in my house, man. Pull bullets out of his arm. Fucking patch him up.
You did that?
Yeah, man. I've done that shit. I've got guys knocking my house.
But Doug, you can work as a surgeon?
Yeah, no. You figure out a way, man. You're in there with a tweezers going, right? The guy's fucking drinking liquor, pouring it on his arm. Like, man, you got like the shit you guys see in movies. That's what we were living,
early
man.
90s,
right? I had guys knock on my door with freaking cakes, a freaking coat white, and be like, yo, you gotta hide this for me. And to take off, and I'm putting it in my fridge, and because he's about to get busted by it. You understand what I mean?
80s and 90s, Toronto,
So you got my back, I got ignored. Like, that's
People don't understand, the 90s were crazier than now, and less population.
Yeah. Well, the cops didn't know what was going on.
Back then, it was
the cops were clueless.
Let me ask you. So if the real Toronto, when it came out, would you be on it or no?
No.
The real Toronto
DVD.
back then?
Yeah. No, when the real Toronto DVD came out, would you be on it?
No.
No?
No.
For what reason?
Because the guys I roll with, by that time you're doing real Toronto, my guys are kingpins. Right? And they don't want to be in the camera. That's why I'm in the camera.
We never took pictures back then. Remember in the early 90s? Nobody took pictures.
But you see me when I did it, you said. You were behind the scenes. You see me come up and film it.
Back in those
No, when I filmed it, you said you see me, but you just didn't come up.
I know all you were doing back then. I got the phone calls, I was there, I was watching you. One time I saw you walk by. Got nothing to do with that. It's at that time.
But you weren't on camera that time.
No, we don't do camera.
Okay, so
guys.
But you watched it or no?
Yeah, I watched it, but you have to understand, like the guys I was rolling with were heavyweights. I'm the face. Yeah. You want to know about the hood?
Yeah.
They throw me in the camera. They don't go in camera, right? They'll be in my video, right? Like they'll be in my video. See all of them in my video. Yes. But in the interview, it's usually they're just gonna throw me like this.
No, but you gotta remember this.
No, I just that's interesting.
Real street niggas never was in any fucking cameras. We never did cameras back in the day.
Straight up, like the way I was living. If you think of like Pac and Death Row, I was like Pac with Death Row. That's how I was like. I swear to God, I was like Pac with Death Row.
Trust me. Yeah.
Right?
People they're gonna understand who you are from the century because you talk a lot of personal stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So like that. So that's how we were living, right? And then and end of the story is like I'm having kids, I'm having boys, but guys are going away, guys are dying. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, man, I lived, I survived. What am I gonna do now, right? So I walk away, and now I have two boys, and I started now I just coach basketball, and I get kids scholarships playing basketball.
That's what we.
So now I have
you're helping.
Yeah. So now my youngest.
Giving back to the neighborhood.
Giving back to the neighborhood. Yeah.
So now my youngest son. My youngest son is playing D1 at Pepperdine College in Malibu, right? Last year I got 7 kids scholarships for university from Canada all the way down to the States. We have
all
products
those guys that play
NBA.
out there, they get paid.
Yeah, they get the NIL money.
That means you have an opportunity to make something better.
So that's what I do now.
Something you give to us back then with the music. You understand?
Yeah.
Different, we know, different growth.
Yeah.
Basketball now. You know what I mean?
So that's me for a circle, and that's what I do, man. But I did a lot, right? I did a lot in a short amount of time, right? But my biggest advice to the kids is prepare to live, man. Don't prepare to die. Prepare to live.
We still here, man. That's what's important, you know.
And I'm the happiest I've ever been, right? Because I'm still.
That's the moral of the story, right?
I'm still in my hood. I'm still in
Not
Scarborough. I'm still in Scarborough. I'm taking kids out of Scarborough hoods, and I'm bringing them and playing in the court. Like I took this kid out of Gilder. He was having a hard time at Gilder. He was getting in trouble at Gilder. I ended up getting him a scholarship and sending him away to school, man.
Would you think you can walk into any Scarborough hood right now?
I feel like I can.
Yes, you can. If I can, you can.
The
I can
OGs,
go anywhere.
the OGs, maybe the young heads might not know me, but they're OGs. If they ask the OGs who I am, they'll know who I am, and they'll say, "Yo."
But I hope that
because I've never had beef personally. I wasn't that guy. I was
beef with blocks.
I built bridges. I never tore down bridges.
I was
the guy who built bridges. So every hood I was like
I already told you.
I personally feel that this issue is gonna connect with the young guys.
I
Because
hope so.
the game is with the young. Is about the young guys right now. Like I listen to young boy music mostly. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll listen to old school stuff and stuff like that, or like my age stuff. But I listen to young boy music. So I hope just like there's more of a connection. You know what I'm saying? I feel that you'll be the guy that's gonna connect to the young boys.
Yeah, but and I'm gonna say this because I gotta let people understand this, and then I'm not trying to be a jerk or nothing like that. But I'm gonna tell all you guys. I'm looking at the camera. I'm gonna tell all you guys, man.
Word from the wise.
Ain't nobody, right? Been in this city and been a fixture and held down this city like from end to end, from Mississauga all the way to Pickering, right? From Newmarket all the way down to Hamilton, right? Ain't nobody ran this place from the streets, like as a celebrity, the status of me. I had any girl I wanted. Everywhere I went, I go to a hood and guys would pass me blunts from the hood. Like you guys understand the respect and the like I will say, for lack of a better word, like the coolness I had in this
loyalty,
city,
respect, man.
right? I haven't seen, and I see a lot of these guys are real. A lot of these guys, honest to God, when it comes to like crime and streets and stuff, a lot of these guys, even young guys, are realer than me, right? But that back in the days, that's not what we were looking for.
They're real, man. It's a whole different type of.
We were looking for genuine, and with me being the genuine me, I had respect from hood to hood. I was partying in Jane and Finch, I was partying in the region, I was partying everywhere, and they gave me respect. And when they came to my hood, I gave them respect, right? But I had respect because that's the way we were, right? So I haven't seen anybody in the city be like me that was like that. Like I was, and my respect was from the hood all the way to the celebrities. Like I was hanging out with celebrities and all those, like I spent my nights as a young man, late night celebrity parties, and it sounds crazy, but like sleeping with many women, all kind of like, and this is before I'm rapping. Like I was like this, and when I rapped,
all these motherfuckers are gonna be jealous.
Yeah, right. when I rapped, it just catapulted me to a status that was ridiculous.
But guess what?
To the point that it didn't matter what I was doing anymore. Like yeah, whatever women, yeah, whatever this, whatever that. And I didn't even look for it anymore because it became boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because I was already living like that when I got to start rapping, I was just like we were. He asked him. I was going on tour, bringing women with me. Right? I wasn't going to tour looking for women. I have girls with me on tour.
Y'all don't even know that. Don't be trying to get angry right now.
You know what I mean? So I'm going on tour, I'm on stage, and my crew is not just dudes, my crew is girls. You understand what I'm saying to you?
On tours.
Like these guys understand. Like and I'm right now, I'm a shell of that guy.
No.
And it's out of choice though.
For retirement.
Yeah,
it's out of choice.
Really a shell.
It's out of choice. But the status these guys want to flaunt and what they want to be is that's what I was. I had you couldn't fuck with my crew, right? And we had a lot of respect with my crew. You couldn't fuck with my crew talent wise. You couldn't fuck with my crew business wise. Like we were just like that guys. We were just those guys in the city, right?
But have you ever? You've never said this in an interview. All this.
No, because
this is a family.
This is the first interview where
it doesn't matter anymore. Like it's not going to affect my career. I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I'm just
no. This is the first interview where you're really saying this stuff. So it's crazy. But I feel that what you're saying, you might feel like you're boasting and stuff like that, whatever. But you're speaking the real stuff, and it's important to register the reality that really happened.
Yeah.
Because if you don't say it, then people will not know it happened.
Yeah, but this is the foundation, right? So you have to think of how we are.
Yeah, it's
right?
important.
So now
this is history.
When people are seeing us like that, now that starts going crazy, like over the city. Everybody in the hood starts realizing they could start doing this.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why everybody called, like, people would say I'm the forefather of that.
That's what I'm about to say. You know what I mean? Well, we came around trying to do a little clothes, a little here and there and there, do
Yeah.
music here and there and there. He said, "Listen, I'm gonna take you to the next level.
Yeah.
You know, tours, register your stuff properly, get you to the media,
Yeah.
get your stuff out there."
Yeah.
That's where we learned that from.
Well, let me ask.
Because I was doing like late night talk shows. I was doing I was on TSN. I was doing TSN interviews.
CTV,
I was doing
TSN,
doing morning day shows. I was almost household name.
Listen, you were on those, but
Yeah.
do you think of doing this, being the guy that does this now, like the main, the one that organizes? You're the voice, and people come to you and talk to you because you're an OG. You're a legend.
but you have to understand, I'm the face. We're all doing
of course. But you like it's like online platforms and stuff. Like we're doing interviews and stuff. You don't think of doing that stuff, like guys coming into and you interviewing guys.
Like
you know, like if like if OGs do that, that's fine. That's great. I applaud them for doing that. That's just not my aspiration.
That's not okay.
Right?
Okay.
My I'm a type of, like, if you follow what I'm saying about my life, right? I'm going from dancing to barbering to painting to rapping, right? All this stuff. I'm comfortable with reinventing myself. So now I've reinvented myself as a father and a coach, and I've never. This is some real shit. I grew up in a broken home. I'm a broken home kid, right? Like and this is gonna get deep right now. My mom has never bought me a Christmas present, right? My mom has never made me breakfast, right? I grew poor, right? The only time I used to eat, I was so poor that my teacher, when I used to go to school in kindergarten, she used to bring breakfast for me because I never had nothing to eat. So I've broken home, man. Like, you know what I mean? My dad is abusive, right? I was an unwanted kid. So when I was born, my mom threw away all the baby stuff, and I've never had a crib. I slept in a dresser drawer as a baby, right? My mom never held me, right?
So you weren't loved by dad or mom?
Yeah, I'm an unloved child.
That's crazy,
right? But one thing I had was I had crew and I had talent, right?
Mad talent.
But I've never ever had a family, right? So now when I retired, I'm like, you know what? One thing my kid is not gonna have, he's not gonna live a life without a family, because I know how that feels. That shit is, buddy, like that shit is unbelievable. And I grew up in a bad neighborhood, so my mom used to go partying at night, or she used to work at night, and my brothers and sisters would all go off partying, and they leave me in the house by myself when I was like 6 years old, 7 years old, in the house all by myself, and all night you'd hear gunshots. So I used to go in my mom's room and take all the clothes out of her dresser and throw it on the bed, right? And then I'd hide under all the clothes as a little kid with a knife, just in case someone broke into my house. So they look in the bedroom, they see a bunch of clothes on the bed, they would leave me alone. And if they move the clothes, I'm gonna fucking juke them with a knife. But I was doing this as a fucking little kid, man.
That's balls, man.
So
You're a legend, yo. No, it's a.
So that's how I grew up. You understand? So when you hear me talking about that shit on songs and shit like that,
history of Toronto. It ain't like you think, man. This is real Toronto, real Scarborough, real life out here.
Yeah. You might rap again, though. Yeah. I have a feeling.
What? No. But I'm just saying that I grew up real. So when you hear those songs were not only they were like, these guys allowed me to. It was therapeutic when I got into the booth. Yeah. You understand what I mean? Like. It released. No, but because so now I'm retired and I got it out. I'm happy. I've released all my pain, frustration. I vented already, right? And now I raised my kids. I put 3 kids through university, right? I got a loving wife at home, right? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm happier than I've ever been.
And to me, he's still a general, because everything we do now, all the guys I work with up to this day, Killer Dilla, all those motherfuckers, those are my squad now. And I only do it because it came from here. You know what I mean? Because I'll be doing a lot of bad things still.
Oh yeah, man. I've seen I've seen my friends in the worst. We've all been. The way I grew up is the way I grew up. But my whole hood, everybody was growing up like that, right? So we were our own family, right? So
that's crazy.
Real Toronto, real history, real Scarborough, real facts, and nothing here you can go check twice. It's for real. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear all these guys in Toronto rapping, all these guys in Scarborough rapping, whatever, there's a history to everything. You understand? It started from somewhere.
Right.
He took the trips on his own.
I just
I'm
feel
14 years old. You know what I mean? How many of y'all are 14 years old don't take the train to take the bus to go to another place?
Oh, you couldn't do
and
that
bring
now.
the culture back.
You couldn't do that now. They stopped you at the airport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He went to the culture here, took it to another city, which is New York, and took what he took there and brought it back to us.
I'm gonna say it like this.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna just end it like this. You just heard a real history, real story from a guy out here. He's never said none of the stuff ever in any interview before, just because it's important to register the history, what really happened, the music, the life story, and everything. You know what I'm saying? It's important. He made it out of the lifestyle. What he's doing right now, you just take example of that and stuff like he kept it real. I just want to thank you for coming
No problem,
out here,
man.
you know what I'm saying?
No problem.
Because I've never really heard this stuff, nah? You know what I'm saying?
These guys know all this stuff, though.
Man, the history of Scarborough, man. Y'all know the real history. Y'all see the whole truth. You know what I'm saying? Much music. All that back in the days. Rap essentials. You know what I'm saying? New York. You know, even all the California dudes. Y'all know Citizen Kane. You know, the first documentary went worldwide from Scarborough. You know, the first independent artist. Show us on the streets how to do independent things. Make your own t-shirts. Make your own CDs. Make your own vinyls. You know what I'm saying? I'm still mad they don't make dub plates anymore, but love to Jamaica. They're still gonna make dub plates when I come there. But anyway, he's the first one in Toronto. Show us how to be independent. You know what I'm saying? So if you're independent right now, do your own thing, and you don't even know him personally, that's the reason why we do independent in all the places. He shows us how to be independent. You know what I mean? Make your own money and don't join the labels.
Shout out to Conrad Barbershop. Shout out Amworks. Shout out CK. For the filmmakers that's out here, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody.
It's amazing that we did it here. Like in Conrad, when you said Conrad Barbershop, it goes perfect, right? Because as a kid, I grew up going to this barbershop, right? And they kind of inspired me to open my own barbershop, right? So it's great that you're doing it here. Like you're doing it in the Conrad's barbershop, where it inspired me to start going to. That's my first business is my barbershop, and I'm born across the street. So this is my two history coming together right here.
Dog, you want us to come back out here and film another episode or not? Yeah? You feeling it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Russia.
We already talked a lot off cam anyways, right? But just for the people, you know what I'm saying? Just so they know.
Citzen Kane.
I feel this is going to be a classic. It's classic.
The whole history of the city. You know, this is where I started from the 80s till now. We still here, and enough respect to the men who made us all get the history from. Khalifa, Risky, everybody. That's where it came from.
Man.
Legend.
Shout out to the shop, Conrad Barbershop.
Conrad.
Real stuff. 2921 Lawrence Avenue, East Scarborough. Best haircut.